Hey guys, let's have a conversation about one of the greatest golfers of all time, Samuel Jackson Snead. Yes, indeed, Sam Snead could be arguably the greatest golfer that ever lived because of his 82 PGA Tour wins. Number one all time. He also has 7 majors. What an incredible golfer this man was. In his first professional tournament, he won at the age of 24 with a final round 61. Sam Snead was an incredible talent. And one of the things that I love so much about Sam Snead is he's somewhat the antithesis of Ben Hogan. He was a total natural. And what I mean by that is he didn't have a lot of swing thoughts. He didn't have to work on his swing. It didn't change throughout his career. And when people asked him how he hit the ball, one of his replies was often, "I just draws it back and hits it." Sam Snead was known as one of the longest, straightest drivers in history. Peter Thompson said Sam Snead would routinely hit the ball 300 yards and you never thought he was going to miss a fairway. So Sam Snead is an incredible player. I have been following the Ben Hogan monk-like existence, of just being an ultimate range rat. But Sam Snead exemplifies the ease of the game. And there's a few major reasons why he was able to play the game so easily for so many years. So I'd like to touch on some of the things that stand out to me when I look at his beautiful golf swing. The number one tip that I believe golfers must keep in mind is they have to keep their head steady and behind the ball. If you move off the ball too much or sway, all of your swing centers have to be realigned at impact, and this can cause a lot of havoc in your golf swing. But let's look at Mr. Snead hit this ball in this video by Carl Welty. I think we can see he has a very steady head. So I put this red box on it there. Now look at how incredible that full backswing is, and his head doesn't move at all. There's a little bit of movement on the forward swing, and then he gets it back behind the ball where it was basically when he started his swing once he hits the ball. This is rather incredible to me. Nothing is disturbed on that beautiful full backswing turn. He's got a nice hip turn, the knee kicks in behind the ball. These are things that I think are just absolutely crucial in a golf swing. A lot of modern players do not do this, so it's not the only way to do it, but Sam Snead came in 3rd place in the PGA Championship in 1974. So if you want to talk about longevity, he had it. I believe he won a PGA Championship at Pinehurst when he was 59 years old. So we're talking about a guy who had a career that just went for decades. I believe he was a winner in 6 decades. Try and wrap your head around that. Beautiful the way he keeps his head behind the ball. Now this swing is a great swing to analyze the Snead Squat. A number of people have talked about this, and I think it's a really good subject to discuss. What we will see is Mr. Snead's left knee will go from being pointed behind the ball to going towards the target, and there's a great spread between his 2 knees here. Now, what this does is it is opening up the hips so the glutes can be fired when the knees are pulled back together to really generate a ton of speed and power. We can see it from the rear view here. Here the adductors squeeze the thighs together, and then in preparation for the hit, we see those knees spread far apart. The weight is evenly distributed between his feet, and his heels are on the ground. Now we will watch those knees snap back together as he fires through the ball. Now this is something that I've discussed in the way that Ben Hogan uses his lower body as well. Once he fires his right knee and the running at the ball move, that fires his hips. The reason why I think that this is a good conversation to have is because I have professional experience in a different discipline, which is ballet. Now, if we watch Mikhail Baryshnikov, I mean, this is generating a lot of force into a turn or pivot. We watch Mikhail Baryshnikov. This is what is referred to as the preparation. He steps out with his right leg. He plants his heel and the knees spread apart. You see the squat? That's it right there. Baryshnikov squats. The arms are opened wide. And then everything pulls back together. This is what I've described as the squeeze pivot in the Hogan code. Everything opens up and squeezes back together. Now, the last thing that I think is really remarkable about Sam Snead is he sets the club head on a plane that is absolutely remarkable. And he has that low left release that I find so beautiful in many of these classic players. You'll also see it in Hunter Mahan's swing and many other golfers' swings that I've highlighted on my channel. It's just beautiful. Here we can see Mr. Snead make that low left release as well as he really fires that right hand. Let's take a look at this again. I think it's very instructive. I want to look at his impact position here, where the right arm goes from being below to higher than the left arm. This is very reminiscent of Ben Hogan. You'll notice that his upper left arm is attached to his chest as his hips are opening towards the target. Now we will see that right hand fully release and the arms will supinate low to the left. Here we see it's fired, and here we see him going left. That hand is really gone over there. It's like he's throwing it down to the left. But what he said is he doesn't want to feel like he's late into the ball. So at the last second, everything fires. And then he rises to that lovely finish. This swing really shows that plane action of his shoulders and the club, putting it in motion around his body. I think there's so much to learn from Sam Snead. What a beautiful swinger of the club. Here we see once again the tremendous athleticism as he comes into the ball. This is the position I refer to as Shangri-La. The hands are out in front of the body. Both feet are planted. Look at this impact position. The right heel is only barely started to rise. The hips are completely visible. The shoulders are opening. And we'll watch that club exit left, low around the body. He's thrown that right hand over. The arms have supinated, and it has that same type of appearance that I described when I was talking about Sergio Garcia and John Rahm in a recent video. So that's Samuel Jackson Snead, one of my all-time favorite swings, perhaps the greatest swing of all time, to be completely honest. But he shares many of the hallmarks of the classic swing that I believe so strongly in, and I discuss this at length in my video, The Hogan Code. So at any rate, I hope this little breakdown of Mr. Snead's swing has helped you, and I hope that you hit him long and hit him straight.
It's hard to describe the sound when Mr. Hogan hit a shot.
He had this tenacity about him. It's really the stuff legends are made of.
He was like Michelangelo and Da Vinci. You know, he was an artist with a golf club.
This is Ben Hogan's locker right here, number 50. He caddied for my dad. That was the beginning of their relationship.
Suffering produces endurance. Endurance produces character.
He knew what was going to happen, and there wasn't anything he could do about it.
Why he actually decided at that point in time to share what he told me, I have no idea.
What I think he did was he applied physics better than everybody else.
Ben Hogan never watched Jack Nicklaus practice, but Jack Nicklaus watched Ben Hogan practice.
People say Hogan won't ever talk to you. Well, Hogan talked to me a lot.